Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the TNA Event Center report. And now here's the man to give you all the total nonstop action and impactful report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode 2676 of the show. It is November the 14th, 2025, 11:09 p.m. And we're going to talk about what happened at Turning Point because that was the first event to kick things off along with SmackDown. But got to tell you something right now. Turning Point's going to get TNA got a little bit more interesting, and I'll explain why. As you know, we got the countdown. Gia Miller was supposed to interview Mike Santana, but he hadn't shown up yet. And so Frankie Kazarian arrived, and she decided, well, I might as well ask him a few questions. And Frankie Kazarian starts talking and running his mouth, being a jerk, being the new world champion. And then Santino Marella made sure that the NXT contingent isn't invading TNA, so he had security covering the entrances. Will that work? Don't know. Then it started out with a triple threat. Jake Sutton versus the newly married Mance Warner with his newlywed bride, Steph DeLander, in his corner. And then to get the hometown man. And Jake Sutton ended up winning the matchup. Then Gia Miller interviewed BDE, the YouTube sensation, making his in-ring debut against AJ Francis. And then this King speech with Frankie Kazarian, the new TNA World Champion, addressed the Orlando crowd in Full Sail University. And he claims he has nothing to do with the NXT attack that happened last night. He asked Carl Silver to come to the ring. He does, and then he said, "Now present the title to me." And then Carlos Silva does that by putting the title on his shoulder. And then Carlos Silva goes, "Well, we're investigating the whole NXT situation, and you are under investigation." He claims he did not do it. Well, we shall see. Then the Nemets interrupt Kazarian, and as Nick Nemeth will be teaming up with Frankie Kazarian against the team of Steve Macklin, the international champion, and the former world champion Mike Santana. He said, "I'm going to trust you for now, but then I'm going to take your title when the time is right." So on to the main card, and it kicked off with the Knockouts title, Kaylani Jordan versus M by Elegance, and Kaylani Jordan ended up winning the matchup. So Gia Miller interviewed Mara Sade and the Kabuki Warriors about that. They don't seem to believe in Kaylani Jordan. After what Kaylani Jordan did to Jordan Grace, I do not blame them. But then Ryan Nemeth interrupts Mara Sade, made fun of her hair. Ryan Nemeth is such a jerk. I was hoping that somebody would smack him across the face one of these days. I should do a roasting of heel wrestlers. As you know, I'm a kayfabe wrestling fan, so as a wrestling fan, so to speak, when I kayfabe, sort of cheer for the faces, boo the bad guys, or the boo the heels, as wrestling talk, and I figured when you get a list of wrestlers, and then give me a wrestler I can't stand. Now, they say Ryan Nemeth. I said, what I would say about Ryan Nemeth, Hollywood hunk is more like a Hollywood dude white dork. I mean, look at the guy, the way he says, my big brother. What is he, 10? Grow up, dude. Ryan Nemeth, that dude, I don't know who's got more smug, smiling face, more of a punchable face, Nick or Ryan. I think Ryan Nemeth's got a more punchable face than Nick Nemeth does. Well, at least Nick Nemeth is accomplished more than Ryan, so, oh, man. Dude, I mean, seriously? I look at Ryan Nemeth as like punchable face of the year. That's what. Yeah, Network 3000. We should have a reward show for a punchable face of the year or something like that. I don't know. That's what I think about Ryan Nemeth. Hold on. That's why I think about Ryan Nemeth. Okay. Oh, Ryan Nemeth again. That's why I think about Ryan Nemeth. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Okay, enough of that. Oh my goodness. Man, okay. Oh man. Anyway, so and yeah, oh man. My eyes are itchy. Anyways, and then Santino Marella was upset with Ava and Ariana Grace. Ava adamantly said, "I had nothing to do with this. I did not make that call. We had a great working relationship. Why would I jeopardize that now?" But then also now Shawn Michaels is looking into it. I think Robert Stone, that idiot, Robert Stone's probably still whining about how TNA disrespects him. So yeah, him and his bunch of babies, bunch of NXT babies. I'm talking about the guys that came with him: Brooks Jensen, Lexis King, High Rise. It's like, listen, if you, I dare these idiots to enter the Royal Rumble or something, man. Let me tell you. So, anyways, I love NXT, but those idiots in NXT, Charlie Dempsey, he probably lied to Ren Sinclair about going to Japan. He's an out liar. I mean, come on, seriously. Anyways. Yeah, Shawn Michaels even tweeted out, "We're looking into it." So, he better. Then there was the BDE versus AJ Francis. Heck of a matchup. BDE tried to show up and show out, but AJ Francis was done playing, ended up hitting the down payment, and 1, 2, 3. AJ Francis wins the matchup. Gia Miller interviewed Steve Macklin, and Macklin said, "I haven't heard from Mike, but he still vows to go after Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian." Then it was a no disqualification match between Indy Hartwell and Danny Luna, an internationally flavored match. Danny Luna from England and Indy Hartwell from Australia, and Hartwell ended up winning that matchup. And then Marella had some time to calm down and apologize to Ava, and Ava apologized back. And Ariana Grace, she's a little worried. I mean, Ariana Grace, her fiance Stax was involved on that NXT Rogues. If I were Ariana Grace, I would dump him and get a real man. Stax looks like Rob Gronkowski if you shrunk him in the dryer. What a dope. Anyways, Knockouts Tag Team title and triple threat match on the line. The Inspiration still using their theme song sung by current AEW wrestling star Harley Cameron. The lovely Harley Cameron, I might add. Going up against Victoria Crawford and Tessa Blanchard, but a little bit something about Blanchard. And then the Angel Warriors, that's Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee. Tessa Blanchard took the mic and said, "I'm not medically cleared to compete," and she still looks gorgeous, but says, "I got someone to replace me in this matchup, Mila Moore." So Mila Moore, the newest Knockout, will make her in-ring debut at Turning Point. But the Inspiration overcame all that and ended up winning the matchup. And then there was a trios match between the Hardys and Cedric Alexander, all North Carolinian natives, against the Order 4 team of Mustafa Ali and the Grey Hands. And thanks to Special Agent Zero, Order 4 and Natasha Steelz, Order 4 wins the matchup. Then there was the 8-man tag, the System, consisting of Moose, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and the soon-to-retire JDC, going up against the Rascals, the team of Myron Reed, Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, and the man formerly known as Wesley, Desmond Xavier. The Rascals are reunited. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And I'm so glad, And the Rascals ended up beating the System in this matchup, but the System, both the system, both teams displayed great sportsmanship, giving each other hugs, and it was a beautiful thing to see the System and the Rascals respect each other. It was I consider it always beautiful to see that, and a welcome back to Desmond Xavier. You know, he gave everybody a hug. It was a beautiful thing. Great to see the Rascals get back together. So. But then Santino was on the phone with somebody. Then Eric Young warns Morella that the cleanse is coming. Could Eric Young be behind the whole situation? If you think about it, if it's the cleanse, is this a new Aces and Eights thing that's going around? Could Eric Young could Eric Young be the guy all along? I don't know. This is a strange situation. This could be more than just NXT versus TNA. This is going to be a whole brand new thing here. We'll find out. Then the X Division title on the line. Leon Slater versus Rich Swann. Heck of a matchup between these two. Leon Slater, come to find out his grandmother had passed away recently. And, Rich Swann was a heck of a match between these two. But Leon Slater did win the matchup. But Rich Swann, I thought he'd be a jerk being part of First Class with AJ Francis. Shook the hand of Leon Slater, gave him a hug, showed respect, hands him the title, shows him respect. And I thought that this is great. This is what it's all about, man. Sportsmanship, great competition. So, and then Jim Miller interviewed Slater after the matchup, referring to his grandmother, Valerie Slater, passed away. He says, without them and my mom and my mom and my sister as well, I wouldn't be doing this today. And that's a beautiful thing to see, Leon Slater. And now Leon Slater can move on, teaming up with Javon Evans as they try to go for the NXT Tag Team Championship. So, then the matchup happened. Steve Maclin and the International Champion Mike Santana defending against Mike Santana, going up against, I should say, the new TNA World Champion Kazarian and the Call Your Shot co-winner Nick Nemeth. But Santana no-showed at the event, but Mara Shade helped Steve Maclin get rid of the annoying Ryman Nemeth by super kicking him in the face. Love that. Thank you, Mara Shade, for that. But then finally Santana shows up. Santino Morella says let security let him in, and finally gets into the matchup and ends up winning the match. The team of Santana and Maclin ends up winning the matchup. But then Nick Nemeth sees his partner laid out, and he decided to grab his trophy and tells the referees cash in that call your shot trophy. But before he even get a chance to do so, NXT strikes again. Brooks Jensen, the same crew that attacked last night. And then Sinner and Saint, the Hardys, they tried to learn their luck, but the numbers game was just too much. Who's behind the whole dang thing? Was it Eric Young? You talking about the cleanse? Is the cleanse him and the NXT contingent that's been coming out here? Or could it be someone else? Could Frankie Kazarian plan the whole thing? Somehow there's going to be something afoot here that we've never seen. I just want an Aces Day situation where the ringleader does not reveal himself until the time comes, and believe me, that is going to be pretty soon. Is Robert Stone the ringleader because of bitterness towards TNA? Could it be Eric Young talking about the cleansing? The cleanse coming? Who knows who would it be? So there's got to be an interesting situation about this. Is someone having a hatred towards TNA? Who knows? So that is it for the episode for now. But we have another episode coming, and we'll be talking about SmackDown and what happened on SmackDown. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and door for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.